Y'all have to put up with me tonight. I've been fighting the crud. But I'd like to open this unscheduled special meeting of the Maumelle Civil Service Commission. Any public comments before we get started?
This is not truly a public comment, Mr. Commissioner, but I do want to introduce Mr. Jared Azone, who is the new HR director for the city of Maumelle. And since y'all will be working very closely with him, I figured that y'all needed to meet him, and he didn't want to do a meeting. He wanted me to still sit up here so he could watch for a little while. So
we were laughing about that early because you're not going to see much.
Not on this one.
Well, welcome to Maumelle. We're glad to have you.
Glad you're here. I met you the other day, actually.
When you get a little more settled in, I'll call you and I'll come by and visit with you one afternoon and just kind of talk about Civil Service Commission and all that sort of thing. Because HR was huge help.
Yes.
Huge help. All right, no old business. Under new business, Chief Williams is going to request us to waive the entry-level testing for a highly qualified applicant, so he would be allowed to offer the patrol officer's position to this individual. Chief?
I'm Sam Williams, the police chief from Maumelle. As you say, I'm kind of y'all asking for permission to hire a person. We do not currently have a list of certified applicants. I have an applicant, and our staff has interviewed him. Let me start out by saying I'm well aware that we are testing Saturday, and we all know that, and I am not trying to run under the wire on something like that. I'm also aware of some of the issues we've had with our written test in the past. I want to start by telling you I've got 5 openings. That's the most we've had since I've been the police chief. We've got police cars that don't have anybody in them.
Chief, is that because people are leaving for other departments or leaving their profession or what?
We have not lost a soul, and I hate to speak these words, but we haven't lost a soul to another agency since Officer Pruitt left us, and that's been 2 years ago or so now.
over a year.
Because you and I talked, when we talked the other day, I mentioned that $10,000 signing bonus in Little
We
Rock.
haven't lost a soul.
And I read that and I thought it's fixing to get back.
We have lost people because they failed to make their probation, and we have lost people because they have left law enforcement. But those are the 2 big reasons. And in talking to my counterparts in other cities and in the county, they're losing officers too that are not going to other agencies that are getting out of their profession.
Getting out of the profession.
We also had 2, the city council approved 2, an increase of 2 people this year that we have not been able to hire yet. So we've had a tough roll of it, gentlemen. We really have. I've got a applicant. He is currently serving as a frontline supervisor. Their rank would be a corporal at Camp Robinson Police Department. He has been with them for over 7 years. He's a field training officer, which I'm desperately in need of. I've got, as I said, I've got 5 openings. I've got 4 field training officers. So even if you said hire all 5 of them tomorrow and they all 5 graduated rookie school and stayed with us long enough, I don't have enough field training officers to train 5.
Do your new hires, is that like a ride along with somebody, that training?
It's a 3-month program where they go through different field training officers, and field training officers have to be certified, and one of the important things is they have to have at least 3 years on the department. I've got several officers that I think will be really good field training officers. They don't have 3 years in. So I just, they are not field training officers and won't be for a while. I think they're smart, sharp, and ambitious enough to be, but not yet. But yes, sir, it's a 3-month program and can be extended if an officer we feel like is viable, but he's just not getting certain things, then we will extend that field training program. They will ride with several different field training officers to get a feel for how different officers handle different things. And our field training officers are always our best. When there's an old saying that the rookie officer will mirror the field training officer, so certainly you want your field training officers. If this new officer is going to act and look like them, we want them to have a good role model to go in.
Who are your field training officers now?
Corporal Debbie Bagley, Corporal Allison Hicks, our Sergeant Debbie Bagley, Sergeant Allison Hicks, Officer Jackson and Officer Garner.
Okay.
Derek Jackson and Andy Garner, that's our four right now. So I am, I've got needs, I need officers in their vehicles. I need officers that can train these officers. And like I said, I'm not aware of any of my officers that have applications in at other departments. Quite frankly, I hope I have the rapport with them that they would tell me that there might be officers who are considering that. I haven't heard a word. But gentlemen, if they keep throwing out $10,000 bonus checks at people,
That's
the young officers are gonna look at that.
That's very
How, how long has the 5 positions been open?
The 5th position came up 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
2 of them have been open since probably middle of the year. The mayor and I discussed getting our vacancies filled up and hiring our 2 new positions after the 6 months or so, which we haven't, wouldn't have mattered, we hadn't been able to keep get us up to full speed all year.
This is not from a lack of funding, you just can't find.
No, sir, I
Right.
can't find officers. And as y'all know, the last 2 tests that I won't say have been disasters, but they've been problematic.
Okay.
We have not got good applicants on the last 2 tests. We're working on it, but there's no guarantee that.
Did you get a new did you get the new test?
No, sir, we're getting another test, which I think is similar to one of the older tests. But, no, sir, we're using the same test and same testing company that started it.
Well, we're using the same testing company. It is a different
Right.
format. They have 4 different
They have
tests.
4 different tests. I think
Yeah,
it's,
it's a different test.
We hope that it's a little bit easier. Is that what we're
Well,
saying?
no, we don't.
We hope we get much more qualified applicants.
Well, we don't want the test to be easier, but we don't want it to be full of memorization work. Is what we don't want.
Are you getting enough? How many? Are you getting applicants? I mean,
This time, we have changed changed up how we get the word out there, and we have more applicants this time than we've ever had. We've got probably 60-something applicants. We usually get in the range of 30-something. Now, here's the problem. It's really incredibly easy to apply using these new methods. We might have not even half of them show up. There might be 40 people throwing out applications, just keep throwing it because they saw it on the site. Send me my check and I'll go to work. I don't know that yet, since this is relatively new for us. But the conventional methods we've used, we were lucky to get 30 applicants. We were lucky to get 20 people pass it. Sometimes we got, as we know, 5 people passed it. 3 of them had previously taken the test and found the background. So we're left with 2 people that we look at and just, I do not want to ever get to where I'm lowering standards to get people. I'm just not going to do that. We'll work short-handed before I'll start.
Yeah.
Hiring people that I just don't think have got it, that they don't have the profession in mind. They're doing it just to be doing it. I'm sincerely hoping those days for the Maumelle Police Department are behind us. I want good, qualified people that want to be here and want to be good to and good for the community of Maumelle.
If you receive this waiver, will he be able to be put on the street immediately?
He will. Now, he will have to ride with an officer. It won't be a field training officer, but we'll have him riding with an officer, A, to learn our city, B, to learn how we do things, and C, to judge. I don't know how much activity a Camp Robinson police officer is involved in. In the interview, he said that they have theft reports that they take. They have disturbances with people. They do have alcohol-related incidences when soldiers come out from other parts of the country and come there to train. So I'm betting not what we see in the course of a day, a week, or a month's time, but to hear him talk about it, he does have some real law enforcement experience. It's not anything, Morristown, something like that. But we want to see, they're not going to do things the way we do them. Almost no police department does, frankly. They're not going to, he's not going to know how to do our computerized reports. He's not going to know how we do our action reports. So we'll have to bring him along on that, but, and he'll have to learn our city, even though he is a Maumelle resident, which again, in my opinion, is a plus. So, I think the man has a lot to offer. His name is Corporal Greg Firestone. He knows, he's got some Spanish. Like I said, he's got a bachelor's degree in criminal justice at UALR. And over 7 years experience, several of them as a supervisor and a field training officer. I need officers that fit this category. I can get a well-qualified applicant. I can get him trained up. I can get him these exact same qualifications. I can make him an FTO, but frankly, I'm looking at 4 or 5 years to be able to do that. And I can get somebody that fits this bill, but it will take, if they try hard, it'll take them 4 to 5 years to get what this officer brings to the table now. And I'm asking for your help on this.
Well, this is certainly not unprecedented. If y'all remember review, I forget how long ago it was, you had another highly qualified, applicant that you wanted to bring in. And I think we, at that time, decided to hear these on a case-by-case basis. But I certainly think there's a lot of understanding and sympathy for what police departments are going through right now, trying to hire people. So, with that said, I would entertain a motion to waive the entry-level testing for, what's his name
I'll
again?
move that we waive the entry level for this young man.
I'd request that the language be suspend competition, which mirrors the language in the rule book
Okay.
and the state law.
Do we need to mention the applicant by name since we're taking this on a case-by-case basis?
I believe last time we did the opposite. We didn't mention it.
Okay.
We
think we put it-
suspended competition for the one position.
Okay, does that do what we need to do?
I'm good with that.
Okay,
Yes,
you want to
sir.
rephrase that and put his language in there?
Suspend competition.
Oh, I waive that I move that we waive the entry level and the competition for this young man.
Suspend competition.
Suspend competition.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no.
Thank you very much.
You got him, Chief.
Thank you.
Any additional comments? And I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion to adjourn and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. We are adjourned.
Hey, Sam, is that guy from Mayflower still with you?
Oh, absolutely. He's
Good.
doing a great job.
He's one of the FTOs.
He's one of the FTOs.
Okay.
Yes.